Drake, of course, with Fake Love. You know, we've all experienced that one. You listen to the lyrics, and it's so true. Whether it's life, work, and the list goes on. Listen to the lyrics. It's still a great track. It was a great track all those years ago, and it still is to this day. So, changing gears. Actually, we're not changing gears. We're sticking with Canadian hip-hop, if you will. Snotty Nose Res Kids with a big win. That's right, at the Junos, so shout out to them. The funny thing about that was, they said, with that victory, Vancouver hip-hop is on the come-up. I have no idea who's writing the articles, and we're not going to call out the news organization where I read this, but what are you talking about? I mean, before that, of course, you had the Rascals. We can name a lot more, but we'll stop there, as the Rascals are pretty much the benchmark, if you will, for Vancouver hip-hop, to say the least. So, I don't know. Big win for them, nonetheless, but I was a little ticked off about the way the article was written. So, shout out to Snotty Nose Res Kids. Hopefully, I'm going to sit down with them at a future event coming up. More on that later on. And of course, we got a Toronto theme going here for the second story. Marineland. Of course, you know, that closed a little while ago. Recently, we came across a lot of old magazines, some pennants from Canada's Wonderland, etc. Nostalgia is one heck of a drug. So we're asking you today, what's your favorite old school Toronto memories? Mine, of course, is going up and down Lakeshore Boulevard with the family, Ontario Place, the lake, the dinosaur structures. Are the dinosaurs still there? Apparently they are. Some people have claimed that they have seen them over the years, but I don't know. Are they still there? I haven't really been down Lakeshore as much. I've driven, but I don't know if I've actually seen the dinosaurs. But those are the things I remember. And of course, old school Canada's Wonderland. I still have some magazines and brochures from the 1980s and 1990s. 1990s Canada's Wonderland was something else. Everybody's got their own era, of course. Every generation is going to claim that Canada's Wonderland was the best during this era or that decade or what have you. But what a time, honestly. And you can remember Honest Ed's, HMV on Yonge Street. The arcades were huge. The arcades on Yonge Street, of course, you're talking Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and the list goes on. So we're just kind of paying homage to the old school Toronto, really getting in the nostalgia feels, if you will. And that kind of bleeds into spring and summer season when the conventions are here, right? You got Sharon, Lois, and Bram. Well, Sharon and Bram, of course, touring. So you remember them back on TVO when you were a kid. And there's a whole bunch of other things going on. YTV guests are popping up at events. And nostalgia, one heck of a drug, like I said earlier. So chime in. Let us know. Call in. Hit the socials. What's your favorite old school memory? Could be the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. It doesn't really matter, right? So the city of Toronto, right here in Toronto, we're seeing a lot of drama play out. Yeah, the city of Toronto is suing I think it's a construction company or a consulting company because of the delays of the Gardner Express back in 2021. So they said it caused like an 8-month delay or some nonsense like that. I'm not really sure, but I think we can all agree that at the end of the day, the people that suffer the most are the general public with those delays, etc., etc. So what are you guys doing to get around those road closures? Of course, spring is here. You know that we're going to be facing construction season, of course. What time do you leave to get to work, etc.? We're taking your calls. We're taking your answers on the socials. Make sure you chime in, of course. And a lot of events coming up. We missed one this past weekend because of a little bad blood, little drama, you know. I'm not going to really get into that, but I skipped out on that one. Let's just say they were kind of pressing me at a past event about my credentials when they were a guest at the event. If you're a guest and the main host is not pressing me as much as you, we got a problem. Anyways, we got more music coming up, brand new tracks. We'll throw some Snotty in there as well. It's a Friday, lots going on. I got off work early, so I thought I'd hit the airwaves for a little bit. Good to be back. It's been a while since I've been in the driver's seat. So with you until 10 p.m. Hold on.